Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the Sun conjunct Saturn in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have the Sun conjunct Saturn in a natal chart, there may be an intense focus on career-related matters. Focus of the Sun career matters are Saturn, and if you have Saturn in Taurus as an example, those career matters, they may be tied into, could be geology, carpet laying. It could be something else Taurus related, which can include agriculture, architecture, gardening, cultivation, banking, finance. And this could be a good aspect, I would say, for concentration, and a lot of intense concentration, because the Sun does rule our focus and attention. Saturn is associated with concentration. This aspect can shine the light, so to speak, which is the Sun. Could be on business and executive ability and acumen, which is Saturn. And Saturn is in Capricorn as an example. That business matters may be connected, with accounting, dentistry. Uh, it could be, something, with information technology. It could be construction, as some examples, timekeeping, anything that's could be Capricorn related, political or government ventures. Now, another thing about this aspect is that the ego, which is the Sun, may be strongly tied in and connected with one's social status, which is Saturn. And the thing is, actually, if somebody has the Sun in Leo, it could be a very, prodigious ego, to say the least. And the thing about it is, the social status, being, Saturn, if somebody has their Saturn in Aries as an example, could be where one may be very, aggressive and, move with little hesitation and procrastination in terms of building up, one's social status, one's stature in life, and how one stacks up with others. Now, another thing with this aspect, well, how it may manifest and pan out, well, the father and authority figures, which is Saturn, may figure, more prominently in one's life, which is the Sun, than most people. Now, the thing about it is, let's say if the Sun is in Aquarius, as an example, it may be, people that are, very, one's life could be one where a lot of altruism, humanitarianism, selflessness is expressed, where a lot of uniqueness and innovation as well could be expressed. If Saturn is in Gemini, it could be people that have Gemini Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, or simply embody the characteristics of the sign as far as the father and authority figures may go. It could be people that are very mercurial, or restless, loquacious, versatile, multifaceted, um, even gossipy in some cases, as an example. Very vivacious, animated people. Could also be where, as far as the aspect goes, the attention, which is the Sun, it could be, well, I should say, there could be much attention, which is the Sun, on one's responsibilities, which is Saturn. Now, let's say if Saturn is in the zodiac sign Cancer, now the responsibilities may be strongly connected, with home-related matters, whether it could be renovation or home improvement, introverted activities, one's home and family in general. Maybe it's even tied in with laundry, plumbing, things associated with cooking, food, culinary work. As some examples, going into nostalgia, uh, history, things of that nature. Now, another thing about this aspect, it could indicate where one may be smaller in stature and thinner than otherwise indicated in the chart, is Saturn can be restricting and limiting. And the thing about this is, I know someone I knew at some point had her Sun conjunct Saturn, and she was only, I think, like around 5 feet tall, somewhere around there. And I don't have the Sun conjunct Saturn in my natal chart, but I have a similar aspect, which is the Sun. I have my Saturn conjunct my ascendant. So, but I'm 5'11" and like 195 pounds. I'm still at least about average, maybe a little above average size. But I may have been a little bit bigger and taller if I didn't have that aspect. So, I've seen people that Kevin Hart, I believe, I believe he's a comedian and actor. I believe he has Saturn conjunct the ascendant, and I think he's shorter than average in height. As some examples. But as far as this goes, having this aspect too can also, it may limit or restrict, which is Saturn, the vitality and energy, which is the Sun, to some degree. Even if, say, if you have your Sun in Leo, Sun and Leo people may have very exorbitant energy. The energy may be nearly inexorable, but the thing is, if you have Saturn, conjunct the Sun, it still may limit it to some degree. Now, another thing about this aspect and how it may be expressed, it could also suggest chronic issues, which is Saturn. It could be with the heart, the upper back, the spine, the left or right eye, depending on gender, which is the Sun. And it may also be, chronic issues, connected, with the zodiac sign your Sun is in. If the Sun is in Sagittarius, say, it could be issues, the thighs, it could be the hips, the liver, the sciatic nerve. As some examples, if the Sun is in Scorpio, there may be issues, greater propensity for chronic issues with the colon, the prostate, the bladder, the reproductive system, the urinary tract, as some examples. And the thing too is, the basic demeanor, which is, the Sun is our basic fundamental character, maybe more structured, disciplined, responsible, mature, more serious, than otherwise indicated. It could be a person that's very, ambitious and career oriented. And also, this aspect could indicate a person that's strongly driven and motivated, which is the Sun, to attain, the success, which is Saturn, in one's life. If Saturn is in Libra, it could be one, really focused on attaining, some kind of success, working in a field connected with the art or law, or working as a career, being successful. Could even be as a diplomat or someone in arbitration, someone working, with negotiation, or even scales. I mean, scales is about balance, and it technically is connected with the zodiac sign Libra. It could be doing something requires like a lot of persuasion, a field connected with that. And also, or even the arts, which can include modeling or acting as well. So those are some examples. Now, another thing about this aspect, there may be very strong and intense concentration, which is Saturn, on the attainment of one's basic wants, which is the Sun. Now, going to, say if the Sun is in Pisces, say, as an example, those basic wants can be connected, just simply having, being able to, it could be isolate, or being able, wanting to rescue others, to save others, expressing compassion, having, altruism, wanting to, it could be the expression of altruism, having just their general ideal, existence, basically, being able to just, whatever it is, that the person, may desire, that what the person may want in connection, with the sign. I mean, if the, say if the sun is in Sagittarius, those basic wants can be connected, with just expanding horizons, being able to joke, express, a jocular side, doing things with foreign travel. And going back to Pisces, the basic wants can be, again, some other things maybe connected, not just rescuing, but being able, I would say, to go, to do things that are connected, with, fantasy, as well, as some examples. And another thing about, and, just, and maybe even like fishing and boating. Now, another thing about, this aspect is that the person may be a little bit more negative, pessimistic, and despondent than otherwise indicated in the chart. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.